Well, good Monday morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business and let's wake up those football gods this morning. I hope everybody's having a great Monday, or will have a great Monday. It's actually really early for me. It's about 6:15 a.m., but I have to hit the road because today's the final meeting with the city council and the vote on whether or not to change the zoning for the red brick house from commercial highway to local business, which will enable us to actually go through and renovate that house. So it's actually a really, really big day for me personally. And of course, we have basically need to start the countdown clock for the Pro Football Hall of Fame because, wow, I just realized that that's next week. Next Thursday night, we will have a first preseason game of the 2021 season. And we'll be there. We'll be there covering it for you. So I've got a lot of work to do between now and then. I'll be on the road this morning, heading down that way. I got to start putting down flooring and stuff and work on this house. Do that meeting at 7 o'clock tonight. And we will, if we do our show, we're going to be kind of late because I got 2.5 hours of driving to get back home to do that. So we may, depending on if I get home before 10, we may do it tonight. If not, we'll do it tomorrow night. So my apologies. And it's one of those things that I hate to miss my Monday night and Friday night show. I try and come hell or high water, do it. But this is one of those cases that it just may not be possible. But the Dallas Cowboys today, they're actually off from practice. They got a day off to recover. And things have been getting kind of heated out there. And let me go to our great owner, Jerry Jones, and he's given us a little state and a little update on the Dallas Cowboys.
I like the physical. I just like the, I guess it'd be talent level, but the speed and the way our defense is moving around, particularly Randy Gregory, number 11. Those are guys that can create pressure. They can complicate defenses. Just to name a couple that are really could be real difference makers for us. And so I like that. I thought Dak Prescott had the best day of practice that I've seen since he's been a Dallas Cowboy yesterday. I thought that's the best day I've seen him practice. So that's encouraging.
Yeah.
I like the...
Okay, so he likes what he's seen from Randy Gregory. He likes what he's seen from Dak Prescott. Believes that that may have been the best day of practice that he's ever seen out of Dak Prescott. So, good morning, Roscoe. How you doing? I want to touch on something else, too, because I am a big fan of Dan Quinn. Okay. And the more I get to know about Dan Quinn, the more I like him, because him and I are about the same age. We played the same position, nose guard, not nose tackle, nose guard. It's a crazy ass position that is like nothing else in the world. You are like demolition derby. You are the car that everybody's coming after to just demolish. You know, you got to take it and you got to give it right back. And so he understands that mentality. But when I heard him, actually, let me play the clip here, because when I heard this clip, I was just in awe, but I think I've got one better for him.
Lunch and that, I'm ready to let it rip and answer some questions for you guys.
Brought up note taking, and Micah told us about you teach them how to take notes, and Kazi as well. Use some Run DMC. Which song was it?
Man, nothing stays inside anymore, huh? I get it. So what I did do an exercise on note taking with them, and the purpose was, you know, learning is a superpower, but note taking is a big part of that, and you can't write every word that I say. And so I said, I'm going to say over 100 words a minute, and so you can write 10 to 12. So I played an old song, Sucker MCs by Run DMC, because I knew every word, so I could sing along as it was going. And so what we did is I said, all right, we're gonna have a little competition here. I want you to write down every word that you hear, you know. And so okay, they started, they heard the beat, and then as it started, you saw them frantically go, and then we had a little competition to see who could remember, which lines, and so the winner had like 2 lines right. And my point was that I know the system inside out. I'm going to talk really fast. I grew up in New Jersey. I talk fast, and that's how it's going to be. So if you think you're going to sit here and write every word that I'm going to say and you're going to get it, you're mistaken, because it's going to be how much you can, the main emphasis for it, and reviewing your notes and how does it go, and learning something with the intent of teaching it back to somebody else. And that's a big deal, because you learn it once when we're teaching it, and then teach it to a teammate, to someone else, so you really get it. And so I think that's probably what Kays or Micah were probably referring to.
Grab a bar?
No, I can, yes, but will I? No. So, yeah.
2 years ago, a friend of mine asked me to say some MC rhyme. So I said the rhyme I'm about to say. The rhyme was deaf and it went this way. That was the opening part of Sucker MC's Run DMC, because I lived that. And so that was great. And this brought to my mind, could this finally be the death knell for the Hot Boys? Are we going to finally bury the Hot Boys? Because we got a different mentality here. Because, see, back in the day, rap, it was all about, biting on each other's rhyme and, and going after each other's. You had the rap battles and everything else. It just seemed a little bit more, in your face and tougher than, say, the Hot Boys. I'm just saying. Because I actually have the perfect theme rap, old school, for Dan Quinn. And I wish, if it weren't for copyright, I would go ahead and play it. And it doesn't make any sense to me how radio stations can play all the music and everything else and not get copyrighted. But if I use a 5-second clip here, boom, the YouTube police come down on me. But the theme song should be for the Dallas Cowboys this year is Mama Said Knock You Out. I don't know how many of y'all know that jam. LL Cool J, who was definitely always in your face. And it's amazing because, see, I'm old. I'm turning into my father, because, my father, when I would play music, when I was young and all, he's like, oh, that ain't no music, boy. They don't make music like that. And he, gets the Drifters or songs like that and stuff. I'm like, man, that old stuff. So I understand it's generational. It's what you grew up with, okay? And I grew up with LL Cool J and Houdini and Run DMC, like I said, in your face. And there were all these rap battles that were going on, Cool Mo D and LL Cool J and stuff, oh, I'm bad, okay? But the perfect one, the theme song that should be for the Dallas Cowboys is Mama Said Knock You Out. And the thing about the 90s raps, at least in my mind, and maybe I'm crazy, there was a message in the lyrics. Like Run DMC, when I woke up this morning and got out of bed, I had some really fresh thoughts going through my head. There were no guns, no tanks, no atomic bombs. To be frank, homeboy, there were no arms, just a vision of peace going across the land. It was a dream. That's a message, okay? That's a message there. But LL, just let me give you a little taste of Mama Said Knock You Out, because you get that beat going on, in the stadium, I'd be happy as can be. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. I'm rocking my peers, putting suckers in fears, making the tears run down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom, explosions, overpowering over the competition. I'm towering, wrecking shop. When I drop, these lyrics will make the call the cops. Don't you dare stare. You better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that cut and sliced and diced. Competition's paying the price. I'm going to knock you out. Ugh. Mama said knock you out. Okay? But I want you to think about those lyrics for a second here. Because you think about the Dallas Cowboys, don't call it a comeback. This defense got to come back. Get that in your head, that this defense, these guys, that all of these players from last year that are here, Jalen Smith, you need to call it a comeback, okay? You need to come back to where you were a few years ago. And when you start talking about the violence, the hitting, the explosion, overpowering the competition. Ooh, the wrecking shop. You know, that's what I'm talking about. In your face, tough, hyped up. That should be the theme song that Dan Quinn is playing in those meetings. I'm telling you, you get some of that pumping up in there and get those guys pumped up, maybe we'll call it a comeback, which would actually fit all of them, because Dan Quinn, having lost his job as head coach in Atlanta, this needs to be his comeback as well. All right, y'all. Short this morning, but I got to get on the road because I got to take care of business. I wear many, many hats when it comes to the Joe Boo Sports Report and beyond. And with that said, our folks here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is